Brees got hurt on that play, going for that fumble.
Drew Brees has just broken Dan Marino's single-season passing yardage record.
Wide open. Wide open! What a way to do it! Will he get it here? Yes! Touchdown pass, 5-4-0 in the 5-0-4.
It's time for the Saints to move on from Drew Brees. For the sake of this team moving forward, we simply cannot keep Drew Brees around after this season. And I mean, look, I love Drew. If it were for Drew, I would have never become a Saints fan, and I likely would have never even started watching football in the first place. And the reason why I became a Saints fan is a little bit weird, but it's a story that I absolutely love telling, so I'm going to briefly tell it. One day, my dad brought home Madden 11 back, of course, in 2010 when it came out. And I booted it up, and the second I finished watching that opening sequence in Madden 11, which is by far my favorite opening to any game ever, there was no turning back. I was a Saints fan from that moment moving forward. And I mean, every single time I watch it, I get teary-eyed. It just reminds me of how much I've been through as a fan and how much this team has been through, how much I've seen this team grow. And I mean, look, I've been here through thick and thin, every single loss, every single win. And it's been a wild ride. It has really been a wild ride. But although Drew may be the reason why I'm a Saints fan, I'm a Saints fan first and foremost, as much as I love Drew. And that's why this video is being made in the first place. Without a doubt, Drew is my favorite player in NFL history. And I mean, football completely changed my life. And subsequently, Drew changed my life. But I mean, he changed a lot of our lives, which makes this video really, really hard to make. I mean, to look at his resume, he turned a once miserable organization around, united an entire state during one of the worst natural disasters in the history of our country. Ultimately, because of Drew, I'm a Saints fan, and because I'm a Saints fan, I'm here today to say that we need to move on from Drew. Now, before you start firing at me with your preconceived notions, no, this has absolutely nothing to do with our playoff loss in Minnesota. I'm not making this video because of that at all. Every Saints fan who's out here calling Drew names and spitting on his legacy because of that and what he's done needs to pick up their shit and go and support another team. Straight up. I'm done with that shit. And on top of that, every single Saints fan when you're the vocal minority. So TLDR, me making this video has nothing to do with us losing in the wild card. That would be petty and stupid. The fact of the matter is, the reason why I'm making this video is because we have hit a fork in the road with Drew. His contract is up. But it's not only his contract, it's Teddy and Taysom's contracts as well, our second and third string, respectively. And therein lies the fork in the road. Now, first of all, Teddy will not be suiting up for the Saints, and I can almost guarantee that. I'm not saying this because I'm a Teddy hater or anything like that. I'm actually saying this for the exact opposite reason. It's because I love Teddy. I'm very grateful for what he was able to do coming in and winning 5 games straight. That's absolutely incredible, and it kept our playoff hopes alive, so I'm very grateful. But the fact of the matter is, our cap space is bottom 5 in the league, and we cannot afford to pay Teddy what he deserves. The fact of the matter is, I want Teddy to go out and get paid big bucks, like he deserves, but we can't afford to pay him what he deserves. So the chance of Teddy suiting up for the Saints, I think, is very low, especially because of our QB3, Taysom Hill. If you had to ask Sean Payton which one he likes more, Teddy or Taysom, I have no doubt he'd say Taysom. And that's no disrespect towards Teddy, but the kind of praise that he has given Taysom is unreal. He said that, and I quote, Taysom is the new Steve Young. And the fact of the matter is, I don't doubt this analysis of Taysom. Taysom is special, but he's made it clear that he wants to be a starter in this league, as he should be. And herein lies our dilemma. On one end, we have our franchise quarterback of the past 15 years, who just turned 41 and who had an incredible age 40 year. But we don't know how long he'll be able to hang in. We don't know if he'll be able to perform at an elite level or even close to that in his age 41 season or moving forward. Now, Father Time could be gracious and give us another 3 or 4 more solid seasons with him, but Father Time could just as easily push him off a hill. Speaking of hill, on the other side of the coin, we have this guy with a ceiling that is absolutely sky high. But there are still questions surrounding his accuracy, his ability to throw the ball, and whether or not he's capable of actually being a starting quarterback at the NFL level. But he's a freak of nature, and with a guy like Sean Payton, one of the greatest offensive minds we have ever seen scheming for him, the potential is absolutely crazy, and honestly, letting him walk could be one of the worst mistakes we could ever make. At the end of the day, the Super Bowl window with Drew has, for the most part, closed. We've essentially hit a fork in the road where, as much as we may hate to say goodbye, it's almost too risky not to, and it's something that we likely will need to do for the sake of the team moving forward. The issue is we don't know when Drew is going to start to seriously decline. Some would say that he's already falling off, and I almost entirely disagree with him. The whole Drew doesn't have the deep ball anymore narrative doesn't account for the fact that he also doesn't have a reliable receiver that can go up and catch a contested deep ball. And the reason why we bring Taysom in for all those deep shots is not because Drew doesn't have the deep ball anymore, which he has shown to have. It's because Taysom confuses the ever-living shit out of defenses. He brings a dimension to the game that Drew is simply incapable of and has never been capable of. When Taysom lines up, he's going to do one of three things: either hand the ball off, run the ball himself, or throw it. And if the defense bites on the run, then that frees up someone like Ted Ginn, who has 4.3 speed but can't catch a contested ball to save his life, and makes things easier for him to make that play. The whole Drew doesn't have the deep ball narrative is really, really stupid. But that's all besides the point. Rant aside, the fact is that Drew's decline is inevitable. And when Father Time hits a quarterback, the decline is always rapid. As much as it might feel like we owe Drew for everything he's done, which he has done so much, and as wrong as it may feel to move on from him, we honestly need to start looking at the bigger picture here. Letting Taysom walk with all of that potential, only to have Drew quite possibly fall off next season, that would be absolutely terrible. We cannot take that risk. We need to move on from Drew, sign Taysom, and keep moving forward. And honestly, if Taysom doesn't work, we can try and zero in on Trevor Lawrence. And assuming we do move on from Drew, there is that chance that he will still want to play and have a little bit of fight in him. And I would hate to have to play him if he did go and play for another team, first of all, just because of how great he is. And second of all, it would just rip me to shreds. But we also have to consider the fact that Drew could likely retire on his own. This season really, in a weird way, felt like his last hurrah, and if he chooses to retire, I'll see it coming, but I'm still gonna cry a lot. And if he doesn't and we move on from him, he goes and plays for another team, I'll cry a lot. But ultimately, what I see this situation to be is a Band-Aid. We can either rip it off quickly, get past the pain quickly, or we can slowly peel it off and have that pain linger on. The fact of the matter is that whichever way you want to cut it, whichever way you want to take off the Band-Aid, we need to start looking towards the future. And I can't believe I'm saying this. It feels like I'm almost backhanding him and just spitting on his legacy, but I don't believe our future should include Drew Brees.